Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us at Branches of Yah. And of course, we have our wonderful sister, Ancient Path Remnant, as you may know her. And today we wanted to talk to you guys about possibly doing some email exchanges to try to encourage the brethren. So, welcome, Ancient Path Remnant. Thank you for joining me again.
Thank you. It's good to be here again. So we were talking about the importance of community. I think it's really important that as the body of believers that we start to support each other and encourage one another. So you and I have talked about trying to set up a group where it's not about doctrine so much, but it's about encouraging and helping one another grow in our belief and overcome things, sort of a support system for this season and beyond as the body comes together. And we just try to work together as a team. So I think you and I wanted to put out that sort of call to people to see if Yahuwah moves all of us to sort of come together as a body and support one another. And I think it's really important as the world gets darker that we as a body together work together to support one another and encourage one another. So that's kind of what we're thinking as Yah has kind of led us that direction.
We're so factioned out there that people are still living in this flesh and still dealing with what's going on in the world in the flesh. They're still dealing with regular everyday things. So that didn't just stop because you knew the name or you started looking for him or you started really coming out of these other religions. It never stopped. So we do really want to make sure that we're there for one another because people are alone in their walk. There are people that are surrounded by people, yet they're utterly alone. And there are people that have been cut off from people, and multiple ones. And they really feel like they have nowhere to turn. So they go into this group or that group just to find out that there's a lot of backbiting or gossiping or division within even that group. And then they tried another one and they see the same things. I said, so we wanted to find a place where people could come and we can uplift and encourage in the word. Of course, we'll answer questions as we go along too, but we're not trying to, neither one of us are trying to be a teacher to you. Our goal is to be brethren and family so that we can be a light to Yah. This is the whole purpose of this, is to be a light to the world. And how can we do that when we're kind of feel trapped in darkness? And a lot of people are going to be feeling trapped because they're, like I said, they're in families, but they're the only ones seeing this. And they really kind of need somebody. It has been such a gift from Yahuwah that we have somebody that has walked with us through this journey at some point in time in our life. And so because of that, I want you to feel like you're not alone. You have people you can talk to if you're in pain of any kind, or you don't feel a connection to the body. We want to solidify that connection. We want to help bring the body and unite us together. Once we all get together, then we can become united in Yah through the Son, and we can work out those differences. But first, we have to come together to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this kind of came about because I had seen and Yah has shown me how much mental health is an issue, with how dark the world is and the difficulties that may come along in the future. And he needs a body of people who are healed themselves. And one way we heal is to be able to, sort of confess to one another and overcome our challenges, and having people who understand the journey and the walk, the refinement and the difficulties of trying to overcome things, and just running this race together, because we're doing this together. We need to have a support system that is a place people feel like they can turn to in difficult times. And maybe someone may have gone through something already, and there's someone coming in who is going through that very thing. and linking those people together to be able to help them overcome, because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So our testimony is going to be really important. And so if the body begins to be healed, the body of believers, but then also our bodies begin to be healed, our lives begin to be healed, and we get delivered from things, and we realize we're really not alone. So Abba was showing me this on Sabbath, how much he wants us to do this. And it won't be in, it's not in our strength. It's Abba has to draw us together. It has to be by his Ruach and a love for this, a desire to connect with one another on a different level, and just really encourage each other to grow, to be able to have a place where we really feel like we can grow together. And then once we are healed as a body, we can heal others. We can help others. It's just, so I think this is just a preliminary, putting the call out there verbally and allowing Yahuwah to, have his Ruach fill us, and that desire within our hearts, that would be the calling of our hearts to come together. We know that the word divides. The word divides, but a house divided against itself cannot stand. So at some point, we have to be united as a body and help one another and be a house. And I think this is the beginning of restoration in the house of Yahuwah. And we are brothers and sisters. We should be helping each other along the way. I think Abba has had to, strip everything from us and keep a lot of people isolated in different situations, because he has to take everything, sort of, take us down, remove things from us so that we rely on him completely. And a lot of people have been there, and now he wants us to work together and support one another during these, kind of dark times that are upon us. We know that the world's going to get darker, but, our path should be getting brighter. And really, what's the point of going through all this without being able to help and support one another?
This is a team effort. And like I said, there's so many people out there that are we're going to all go through the same things on some level. You're going to find your family, your bloodline family, and you don't talk as much anymore. You're going to find your friends don't have as much to say because you're not keeping the same holidays that they keep. You're not keeping those days of those other religions, or you're not using the words of those other religions, or you talk about something different than what they've been taught. And a lot of times people don't understand it, or you won't do things like on the Sabbath that, they're used to, like, hey, let's go out on a Friday night. And now you're not doing it anymore. And to the parties and the things that you used to do that you won't do, there'll be a lot of people, they won't understand it. And you're not alone. We've all dealt with that. And there's going to be, like you said, other people are going to be utterly stripped of almost everything, because there's something Yah wants to do in their lives. He wants to fill that vessel. So he has to, if we're not emptying it and he has to empty it, that can be painful. But like I said before, just normal life challenges, just the difficulty of, people that you love don't want to talk to you anymore because of this, which is silly. I've got neighbors and people that don't walk the way I walk, but still are very kind people to me, very supportive of me as a human being. I won't go do the things they do, but it's we know it's hard, and it might be, like I said, even within your own household, and you feel like you're being cut off from your own family, and it gets difficult. And then you get into a group or something, and then there are factions within that group and factions within those factions, and on and on and on, and you get kind of frustrated, and you feel like, why am I even doing this? This is there's nowhere to turn. So we want to help be a place to turn, both either in the email, which we've been talking about, and I will put our emails up on the screen. So our dear sisters is haniyahshalom, which is HANIYAH shalom, SHALOM, at protonmail.com. That's protonmail.com. And mine is Natsar for Yah, which is NATSAR, the number 4, YAH, at proton.me. And those are two of the emails that you can contact us at. And like I said, if it's just for support, if it's just to say, confess something that you're struggling with, that you still haven't gotten out of your life and you really need someone to talk to, but you don't want to tell whoever because you feel that there'll be judgment upon you, we have to be built up first. And yeah, the world's going to get darker, and there's no sense of letting the body become gangrenous, which often seems to be the case. So let's heal the body, and then what happens in the world will affect you less and less. It'll be amazing. And like I said, the word does cut, and the word will cut away that which are not his, and he will prune the branches that bring forth no fruit. But we're not even to that point yet. So let's get together. Let's reach out to one another, try to be supportive. We're not talking about of your doctrines. We're talking about you as a member of the body and as family. So let's build that up. Let's strengthen that body so that we can be a light to the world. Because how can we be a light to the world if we're always bickering and gossiping and all the other things? And if we're struggling and we feel we got no one to turn to? Well, we hope, both of us hope, that you will turn to us and that we can build a strong body to uplift the name of Yahuwah.
Absolutely. And I was thinking possibly we could just start an email list where we're all on an email list and we can sort of reach out that way and then connect people that way.
That'd be
so
great
it's
at
like
first.
one big group
Yeah.
kind of email. So think about that, pray about it, let Yahuwah guide you by his Ruach. Decide if you want to be part of that beginning stages of maybe an email list, and then we can figure out. And I'd love suggestions. I would love to hear any suggestions, because it's got to be Abba led, Yahuwah led by the Ruach, and everyone is a part of that. There's, we really want suggestions and things like that, but it's just the beginning stages of bringing the body together and healing one another, having some fellowship that way, and then figuring out letting Abba lead, because if it's through his hand, it will work. If it's by our strength, it'll fail. But this is just what he's shown me and us, and that I'm led to really want people to come together and have that support system. And I know you are too, Branches. We've actually talked about this for quite a while, and now it seems like Abba is really bringing this to the forefront right now, because the days are going to get so much darker. We need to be a light for one another, even.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Help one another.
And for those of you who don't know, because I don't mind if you do, my name is Eric. So if you want to contact me, you can call me by that. You don't have to call me Branches. But yeah, so, and if you feel more comfortable with the guys contacting me and the girls contacting Ancient Path Remnant here, then feel free. But we do want to create a functional whole body eventually. Now, there might be some things that are of a delicate nature that you might want to talk to a woman, or vice versa, a man, and that's fine. We just want to. We want to be a light for one another. We do want to build one another up and strengthen this body, because it doesn't seem like anyone's doing that right now. Everyone's doing everything they can to create factions and divisions, which Yahuwah hates. So let's be there for one another. In other words, there's no man coming to save us. There is only his word, his son, that does the work. The Ruach. This is what has already been given to us. We already have it. It's already available to us. So we really, really want people to not feel so alone, not feel abandoned or forsaken. So please, by all means, get a hold of us. Like I said, we'll start off with something where we're just doing an email thing and we're talking back and forth, and we can share information back and forth. And yeah, Proton is, if you're not familiar with it, is an encrypted email, and it's much safer and not data mined. So that's kind of why we chose to use those email addresses. If you're not familiar with it, it is free and it is much better than most of the others out there. So your information, no matter how delicate to you, should be fairly well secured.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is the beginning of the body coming together, restoration and healing, and just being the hands and feet of our Messiah on this earth. And that has to begin in the house. That has to begin with one another. And so we'll see what Abba pulls together here. And I'm excited, and just reach out to us and let us know if you're interested in being on the email list. And we'll just encourage one another and see how it forms, and just let the Ruach lead. And then if Abba leads it, then it'll work out just right. It'll be exactly what it's supposed to be. So.
Well, yeah, it says whatever he unites, let no man put asunder. So, and I don't think you hardly could break it apart unless it's from within. So, yeah, if Yah's got his hand on it, it's going to be wonderful. And we know that he wants us united. We know that he wants us together. He doesn't delight in the wicked perishing. So we know how much he loved us. He loved us so much, yet while we were still sinners, he sent his son to die for us. So
Absolutely. Hallelujah to that.
like I said, I'll post both of our email addresses. And did you want me to put your name on there, or just Hania, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, Tiffany is fine. Tiffany, Haniyah,
Okay.
Shalom. Yeah.
And sis
again,
and brother's fine too. And sister and brother, or mishpaka, or ahi, or any of those terms are fine too.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like for it to be a group email to begin with, but yeah. And then we can kind of figure out. So we'll just do like a group thing. And then if someone needs to talk personally to someone, then the men can talk to you, or the other men. And yeah, so we'll work those details out. But I think it'll be good to have like an encouraging email set up, and then move on from there, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, brethren, we do love you out there. We do love you because you love Yah, and because he loves us. So if he loves you, how can I not? So we want you to feel encouraged. We don't want you to feel alone. Even if you're by yourself, you don't have to be alone. You may not have a physical presence, but you can take some solace in the fact that there are others that have gone through what you've gone through, and the fact that you have someone to share it with, because so often you get a lot of judgment from people, and this is a place of no judgment. It's not, this is a place of let's build up first and we can work out the issues later.
Absolutely. Perfectly said. Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
My pleasure, Tiffany. my pleasure, Tiffany. And yeah, again, brethren, we love you guys. We hope to hear from you, and we hope to build a strong body of light bearers for Yahuwah. So
Absolutely.
we'll talk to you guys again, and we say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.